Personally, I don't like that statement when they say men are hunters. I don't prefer for men to be called hunters, but I actually prefer for the men to be called builders instead of hunters. Okay, let me tell you why. You know, for hunters, what does a hunter do? They just go like after something that they want to eat, right? And when they catch that, they leave it in a worse state or in a bad state, or they just eat. And after that, it's no longer useful to them. Then they have to go after another one. So this gives men like a sense that they can just go after every or after any woman that comes on their way and just use them for their own satisfaction or to just fulfill themselves. Just as hunters, they just go after meat or after and when they eat they feel satisfied, they feel full, and once that is done, then that meat is gone, it's destroyed, and it's in a bad state. And even if they leave something, they will want something fresh and they have to go and hunt again. And some other lazy guys who maybe doesn't know how to hunt, they just maybe go after those ones which have been hunted by others before. And what they only do is to leave that also in a worse state, in like they take from where it was left by the first hunter, and they make it even worse because they just consume, they don't add anything. So hunters, they just go after something, they consume it, and they leave it in the better state, in the worse state than it was before. But let's compare this to builders. So builders, they actually think like, what do I want to build? They think like, okay, I want to build a house like this. So they have to plan, and after they make a plan, they even make a budget for it, because they want to build something that they want to live with, they want to live in, or they want to use also, and something that they are pleased with, and that they can continuously take care of. So what the builders do, they make a plan, they make a budget, they do some investment, and after that they even do a survey that, okay, with my budget that I have, what kind of like a place where it's possible to build a strong foundation for this kind of budget. So if you have like a big budget, you can build anyway like you want, you don't care, like, so you don't really need to do a soil survey or something, because you have a big budget. You even in the desert you can build, like you in Dubai or somewhere, it's built on the desert, because they have money, they can do whatever they want. So if you are a builder, you are rich, you can just build anyway. So you can just make any kind of budget that you want, and you don't really need to do a proper survey. But if your budget is low and you want to build something strong and something that you stay with for a longer time, then you have to do some survey that is according to your budget. Then you need to know, okay, which land, like if it's veiled, no, you don't want that. If it is rocky, maybe you say, okay, if it is sand, no, maybe. So, and when you start to build, you actually know like how to build a strong foundation. You just don't randomly build, you build carefully with laying a strong foundation, because you want to live in this house. So that's the mentality of a builder, like as opposed to the mentality of a hunter. Hunter doesn't invest in anything. Hunter just to behave his tools, or it could be like a bows and arrows or a gun or a spear, and what he only needs is the energy to run after what he wants to catch. So that is, so the mentality of a builder is different. He thinks about the future, he thinks about the purpose, he thinks that, so it's only about, it's not about only about satisfying himself for that moment and then go after another. So that's why I prefer that men be called builders. And if you also look at another aspect, like what actually the builders do, so they have to like lay a good foundation. So even if a builder is taking over something that has been built by another person before, like, or that has been abandoned by another person before. So they just don't randomly go. They actually check that, okay, what is the state of this old building that has been used by another person before. So they check and they look like how many rooms are there and something, are these rooms enough for like, and they even look at the design. Then they say, okay, but with this design, maybe I don't like it, I need to renovate it this way, maybe I need to tear down this wall and make it this way. So they also think like, okay, do I have the budget to actually do this kind of modification to suit my needs, the needs? Because the state they got it was tailored for another person's needs. But unless if they have the same needs, then it will be less job. But if the needs have been different because we are different people, so the builders, maybe the first builder was saying, okay, maybe 3 rooms are enough for me, or this land is enough for me. Then or maybe if it's this, if it has sink only or no shower. But when you are coming to take over, maybe that, then you have use different design. So you need to actually even think that, okay, is it possible for me to redesign this to my needs, or to repair? Maybe the building has some cracks. So builders, they come to repair, they come to take care of. So even if the house has been broken, if they choose that, okay, that is the one that I want, they will do some renovation, they will fix those cracks because they want to live comfortably. They don't want rain to come in. If the roof has been teared apart, the builders, they come and repair and fix because they want to live there. So builders, they acquire something, or they build something from scratch and leave it in a better state. Or as opposed to hunters, they just come to like destroy, so that only for their temporary pleasure, so for their temporary satisfaction for that moment, and after it's done, they will go after another one. But builders, they are there to stay, they are there to uplift. So instead of calling men hunters, it's better to call them builders. So we need to remove this hunters mentality, which just going after something and leave it in a waste state. But let's have a builders mentality, which means we build something that we take care of, that we will continuously repair when it's broken, and because we want to live in it, and we want it to be useful to us. So that is the mentality that we need to have. So men are not hunters, but men are builders. Or men should not be hunters, but men should be builders. So this is the wisdom for today. Yeah. Cheers.